Hey guys, what's going on? Sadiq. Welcome to Experiences with Sadiq. Experiences with Sadiq is about all things real estate. A show where communication is key, advocating for the people's bliss, and knowledge, it's inspiring. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the show. And oh yeah, don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. Whether you're buying or selling a home, I'm that guy. Let's go! It's Sadiq Davies. Welcome to Experiences with Sadiq. Today we have a guest with us today. Her name is Mackenzie Richter. So today I'm going to introduce you guys to Mackenzie. Well, I already did. I apologize about that. But I do have Mackenzie here. Mackenzie's she's from HomePro Inspection, and we're going to have a little quick discussion with Mackenzie. We're going to talk about the proper process that goes through during the home inspection ordeal. So welcome, Mackenzie Richter, and welcome HomePro Inspection. If you don't mind, Mackenzie, please introduce yourself and let the people know what you do and what your company is all about.
Well, thank you for having me, Sadiq. My name is Mackenzie. I am the Director of Operations at HomePro Inspections of Rhode Island. We were started in 1999. The company is owned, CEO, operated by my father, Hank. So if you ever see us around, you'll probably see Hank. When I was about 5 years old, we were in a tough financial position as a family. And so my dad decided to pursue owning his own business. Back then, HomePro Inspections was actually a franchise. So he purchased the franchise and started his own business. Since then, it is no longer a franchise. So we kind of became our complete own single operated company. And my father was a single operator, as in one inspector for the whole company for about, I want to say 16 years. And then he got his assistant, Jay. And now since we have hired more inspectors, so we are able to have 3 teams out at any given time. We're a full service inspection company and a one-stop shop. So anything that you need, if we can't do the service, we will still schedule that service with a provider that can. And we just try to make the home inspection experience the most educational, fun experience for clients. We always want them to leave happier than when they showed up. And we just want to educate the client about what's going on in their home. We're not all about pointing out what's bad and what's necessarily wrong. We want to teach people how to maintain their house. And especially on the inspection, are you prepared to maintain this house? Are you prepared for the issues that may arise? So we focus on education, and we really enjoy what we do. We love helping people and making sure that their homes are safe.
Nice. You know what's crazy? Because I had a question, Mackenzie, and you basically already covered that for me. But what I actually want to break down to you is for future home buyers or people, future home buyers that are looking to purchase a home. So we already have an idea of exactly how this whole process of HomePro Inspection, which is your company and your father's company, came about. First-time home buyers might not have an idea what the purpose of a true inspection is all about when they buy a property. So if you don't mind, can you break down what home inspections are all about and what first-time buyers should be actually expecting from their home inspectors?
Right. So we talk about that a lot in our staff meetings about expectations of buyers and making sure that they understand what our process is. So we make sure that we explain that to them before it happens. But essentially, so you go in to get the house, you have the purchase and sale agreement, and you get the inspection. Now, with these inspection companies, before you even start, you want to make sure it's a company that is known and is established because, as we know, inspections problems can arise. You want to make sure that you have a reliable company. So once you get to the inspection, what you should expect, is that the inspector is going to look at the entire property, exterior, top to bottom, interior, top to bottom, the same. Look at all the major systems, mechanical, plumbing, electrical, any system that we can take apart. You want to make sure your inspector is going to do that. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to document everything that we see. We take a picture of, we put a comment if it's necessary. And at the same time, we like to explain to our buyers what we're seeing. So we'll take the buyer around, point out what we're looking at, explain it in layman's terms, construction terms, because it's not helpful. dictionary every time you read the report. So as we're gathering this information, we're explaining it to our client, we're breaking down the different items that we see. And what I mean by that is, say you have an electric panel. A lot of times in electric panels, there are things that are correct and there are things that are incorrect. So it's really important that we explain to the buyer what's correct and why it's incorrect, and what to expect when it is fixed or remedied, or how to go about remedying something. Home inspectors, we are not in the business of telling you estimates of how much things are going to be repaired. That's not our job. It's not our job to say, if someone says to us, would you buy this house? That's not our job. We are here to look at the house that the person is buying and making sure that everything is safe. Now, we go above code. Sometimes, city inspectors use the word code. We don't use the word code because there are certain codes that are deemed safe but are not necessarily safe in practice. So, for example, you could have a couple steps in front of your yard, but code says that you don't need a handrail. But as home inspectors, we recommend the handrail because we want to make sure everyone is safe. And so at the end of the inspection, we do a big wrap up where it's kind of changed since COVID because usually we have a couple more people present with us, but we meet up with the buyer again at the end as we're kind of finishing up our reporting and making sure that all the stuff that we had, moved or taking the electric panel off, making sure that's all back on, all the lights are off, making sure everything is as it was. And we explain to the buyer everything that we found. We go through all of the photos that we found. We go through all of the major issues. And we just kind of reiterate what we saw because it is a lot. Like going into a home inspection, especially as a first-time buyer, it's a lot. A lot of stuff is on the line, it's scary. So we really try to explain things to them in a calm way, in a way that makes sense for them. In addition to, we want to get to know our clients, we ask them what they do for work. Because when you are explaining things to someone, if a buyer is a contractor versus a preschool teacher, that's two different ways that we need to talk to them about certain issues based on their level of comfortability with stuff in terms of home inspections. So then after the inspection, within 24 hours, you are emailed a report. And that report, for us, we use a system which breaks down the major items first. So those items would be over $500. You need a contractor to repair it, a big safety issue, or just something that you really need to know. And then that part is called the summary, and that tells you where all of those individual items are within the report. And then the rest of the report is everything that we found, all the photos. It's pretty easy to read. And we also include a bunch of other information for things like RIs and, just different deals that we have with certain vendors that we work with. So we really try to make the inspection experience a fun experience, an exciting experience, and something that doesn't scare the buyer away. We don't like that stereotype where home inspectors are deal killers. We do not believe that whatsoever. It's all about the expectations of the buyer coming in. And we want to make sure that these people who are buying this house know what they're dealing with, know if they're able to maintain it financially, emotionally. And we just want everyone to leave happy and satisfied that they know what they're getting themselves into, whether that is a great house that works for them or not. We still want them to feel comfortable either way.
Nice. You mentioned one thing about scaring clients away. I think a lot of clients don't understand because when it comes down to home inspection, you do have those type of clients that pretty much could scare. I guess home inspectors can scare clients, and it loses the client during the whole aspect of when a home inspector is actually breaking down the fundamentals of what he or she is looking at during the home inspection. Because a lot of times, a lot of these clients, I think like, oh my gosh, like this is really big. Should I even buy this house now? Not realizing that they just give me the heads up of what potentially could occur or could occur in the future and stuff like that. But let me ask you this, right? In terms of that aspect of trying to not scare the clients, how do you go about explaining it to them in a way where they know that it's not a scare tactic that you're creating, but more of an assurance type of situation?
Right. So in our staff meetings, we spend a lot of time talking about personality types and body language so that when we look at our client and they are, like this and they're kind of scared, we're able to change our tone and, speak to them a little differently. But I would say that the one thing that everyone should know going into a home inspection is that no home is perfect. Even if it was built yesterday, no home is perfect, and there are going to be issues in every home. It's a structure. I like to think of houses like a big baby. If you don't take care of it, it's not going to take care of itself. You know, you're moving into a structure that has potentially been lived in this area for hundreds of years. So we really try to, at the very beginning of the inspection, make sure those expectations are set and try to give people more options. So my dad likes to use the example of, you know, there could be a contractor and he goes to this inspection and the roof is completely gone, but he's not worried about that. He's worried about the cover plate that's missing off the electrical outlet in the living room because his 3-year-old may get into it. So everyone has kind of different anxieties when it comes to going into home inspection. So we try to focus on addressing those anxieties in a way that makes sense for the client. So, you know, whether that means recommending a group of or a list of companies that can help them out, or recommending a specialist to come in and talk to them specifically about that issue. Or we leave our lines of communication open at all times. Call us back if you're really concerned. If you want us to come check on something after it's been repaired, let us know. There are some houses that you go in and you're just like, ooh, there's a lot of issues going on in here. And sometimes you can make kind of joking about it, and the client's like, yeah, this is not, you know, but we never say, oh my God. We never go, wow, or whoa, like, because nothing surprises us anymore anyway. But yeah, it's all about reading the client's body language and making sure that they leave in a better position than when they came in, more confident in the fact that they're either buying this house or perhaps that they are looking into a different route. But it's all about just, for us, making sure that our clients are in better position than when they showed up at the inspection.
Nice. If you don't mind, Mackenzie, give me 5 major important things that are major during the home inspection that clients should be alert with, I guess you want to say. So if you don't mind, break down 5 things that you guys consider major factors during the home inspection.
So when you say major factors, do you mean like 5 major elements of a home inspection that clients should take seriously? Is that what you mean? Or, sorry, I'm just trying to make sure.
No, definitely. So let's say like a water tank or roof or anything like that. I guess you want to call those elements. Yeah, if you don't mind, give potential first-time buyers who's watching this 5 major things, 5 major elements that plays a crucial factor during your inspection period.
Okay, so I would say we'll talk about things that are really expensive to repair and replace are probably the most important ones. So we can talk about, you know, heating systems. If it's a system that is failing or a system that is just far too old, that's something to think about, because those usually require some type of a loan to purchase because they are expensive products. Roofing is another thing. In addition, I will link that with an attic situation, whether there's insulation issues or, you know, that's another thing that we find commonly, like where roofs are too old or perhaps they were installed improperly. So that's another issue that people need to think about, because, you know, obviously we don't live in the desert. There's rain, and that's a big issue that we need to think about. Structure is huge for us because we are in New England, because we have such old homes here. If the structure is, we're legally not allowed to say how the structure is, but if we're looking at it and we know that something is wrong, we're going to send you to a structural engineer for them to deal with it, because obviously if the structure is damaged in any way, you could have big problems in the future. Sure. Another one I would say is electrical. We see a lot of panels that are just not maintained well, or the wiring is funky crazy, and electricians are expensive. It's an expensive thing for an electrician to come out to your home and fix things. So that's another issue to kind of look out for, especially if there's older wiring. There's just a lot of large projects involved in the electrical world that we definitely keep an eye out for. And the last one I would guess is overall safety. So when I say that, I mean like decks. Is the deck built correctly? Is it using the right material? Is it secured to the home properly? Or if there's a pool, do we have the right insurance safety elements there? The self-closing, self-latching gate, the fence that envelops the entire yard. And, you know, there's certain Yeah, I would say that those are probably the top five. I'm sure my dad would have a different answer. He's a little bit more familiar, but I would say those are kind of the bigger issues. In addition to, I would say water damage is another one to kind of watch out for, and microbial growth and mold. So I guess that's kind of like 7 things, but yeah, those are kind of main things that if you come across one of those issues in an inspection, that's kind of where we take a break for a second and really explain what's going on and why it's important that those need to be addressed prior to moving in.
Let me ask you this, Mackenzie. What if you could give me the clients or viewers one downfall that you actually went through with a potential client? If you don't mind, if you had an experience that you guys encountered with a client, if you don't mind sharing that experience with us, and then what did you guys do to resolve that situation?
So one of the homes, so I interned with my dad for months because I thought I was going to be an inspector, but it's not really my jam. But I do remember in one home that we went to, there was an oil tank that was behind a wall. They had built a wall in front of the oil tank to create kind of an office space, and we couldn't see the oil tank. We couldn't look at the integrity of the tank, and we couldn't see how old it was, and it was just a really big issue. We did go back after the wall was removed from the home, but that's just an example of something during a home inspection where we have to pause and say, uh-oh, this doesn't look good. We can't see it. We don't have access to it. And we need to talk about what, especially in that point, we pull in the agent as well to talk to them about what the plan is moving forward. As I said, we don't negotiate fixing or anything like that. That's all up to the agents. We're just there to inspect. But that was kind of a small example of something where it was like, uh-oh, we need to get the wall removed, we need to get the oil tank out, and we need to replace the oil tank as well. I believe we did see like rusting and maybe some oil drippage on the bottom. And that can cause a crazy amount of damage. It's dangerous to have oil in your house, obviously. So that was kind of an example of that kind of a situation.
That's crazy because a lot of people don't really understand like the intricacies that comes with the home inspection. That's why it's very, very crucial as homeowners or first time buyers, should I say, when you're going through the process of purchasing a home, making sure that you have the right home inspector to actually inspect the property for you, because home inspectors look for key detail things during the whole inspection period. And they provide you information that will inform you to be able to make decisions so you can be able to move forward with purchasing a home. That's why as realtors and in the contract and the offer form, we always put subject to home inspection because it creates that a safety net for the client itself, right? Because if there's major things wrong with a property, the client can actually decide if they want to move forward move forward in terms of walk away from the deal, should I say, and just be able to make without having to be liable, I guess, from with the seller side. So creating subject to home inspection on the contract is very crucial for us agents when we're helping our clients out. So it's home inspection is an important aspect of real estate purchase. All right, people. So whenever you guys do purchase a home and you are going through the process of purchasing a home, make sure you get a home inspection done, because they can actually give you insight in regards to if this property is sound or not. Mackenzie, first thing, if you don't mind, how do you guys provide the clients with the home inspection information, like the final detail information? Do you guys put on CD? Do you guys have a booklet? Well, how do you guys provide that information to the clients?
So we email our reports and they come as a PDF. So they're able to be downloaded and viewed online or printed. If we don't do the printing here, but of course our clients are more than welcome to print them. We also give them a binder, and that includes a lot of information about our vendor partners in addition to other resources for them, such as the RISE program, and how to get in contact with that program. But our PDF, very easy to read, comes right through email. And in our scheduling process, we take a lot of information from the clients. We send a lot of emails before to make sure that we have all of our ducks in a row before we get there. We communicate with the buyer's agent, the seller's agent. So by the time the inspection is over, the report should be there, like I said, less than 24 hours, and really easy to view over email. And you can print it and keep it forever, or just keep it on your computer. And like I said, we include the binder as well. So everybody can go home feeling like they really, got something from the inspection beyond all the information. Because it's kind of, by the time the inspection's over, a lot of times clients are just fried and they're like, information overload. So we try to make our reports really easy to read. And we always make sure that we include the little details that the client is specifically looking for. So sometimes they'll come in and say, I just, before the inspection starts, I really want you to check out the roof. I'm a little nervous about that or whatever. So we always try to include as much detail as we possibly can about the things that we've seen and the things that we can't see or cannot see. So a lot of times when you go to someone's home, there's stuff, because people have stuff. So we can't always see every single inch of the house. We can't see behind walls. We're not going to rip the walls down.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So we always make sure our contracts, our agreements, and our reports reflect what we see and what we cannot see, because that's just as important.
Quick thing. Is there warranty? Do you guys have any type of warranty program for these clients?
Yes.
And what's that about?
We have a lot of warranties through Residential Warranty Services. We've been providing those warranties for about 7 years. And those warranties range from all over the house. We have a roof leak warranty that's up to 5 years. We have a sewer guard warranty. We use a program called Recall Check. So we go through the house, look at all of the major appliances. We take down the model number and the serial number. And then that client receives a monthly email of if there are any recalls on those products. And this service is faster than the Consumer Product Safety Commission. So you will get the email as soon as it goes on recall from the Consumer Product Safety Commission, not the manufacturer. So you're in first line for those appliances to be replaced. We also have a radon warranty, a termite warranty, a mold warranty. We have a whole suite of warranties.
You guys just have warranty for everything.
Yeah,
nice,
we try to make sure our customers are totally covered. And if we miss anything on the inspection, we want to make sure that they either get the money to repair whatever was missed, or that they are given a monetary way of repairing those items. So we love our warranty system. It's very easy to use for the clients. It's been a great tool for us in terms of building our business, because it really protects us. It protects the client. Our warranties also extend to the sellers. So really, we're just covered on all angles, and we love our warranties.
Nice. If you don't mind, Mackenzie, how can potential clients reach out to you guys? What's your social media handle, your contact info, all that good information?
So our website is homeprori.com. Our handle is @homeprori. That's on Instagram and Facebook. Our phone number is 821-5446. And you're able to call and get a quote, or you can go online and get a quote. You can schedule online as well. We're available all over the place. I'm constantly on my phone communicating with everybody. So if you have a question, it will be answered. And we also have all of our COVID-19 policies on our website and our Facebook as well, just so that everybody's in the know about what's going on there as well.
Nice. You guys hear it from your girl, Mackenzie Richter from HomePro Inspection. You guys know what it is. It's your man, Sadiq Davies, with Xperiences with Sadiq, where communication is key, advocating for the people's bliss and knowledge is inspiring. Talk to you guys soon on the next Xperiences with Sadiq. Be good.